We're on one of the world's most premier muskie fisheries in one of the best areas in the world.
The fish in this lake, every cast could be a fish of a lifetime. There's no question about it.
Got it. Oh, nice one, Doug. Yes.
This is the land of giants.
It's gonna go crazy here.
This lake is kicked out to absolute giants. What a critter.
Yes! 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 Oh!
Another giant comes out of Eagle.
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride.
Eagle Lake is an amazing body of water located about 150 miles north of the border. If you haven't spent time fishing in Ontario Sunset Country, get up here and enjoy it. Eagle is special for many reasons, and its diversity is remarkable. I think it's a tiger. It is a tiger muskie. The lake is about 67,000 acres and roughly 70 miles long.
Look at the size of this one, guys.
It's a big lake, yet it fishes even bigger.
I'm shaking, boys.
Yet as expansive as Eagle is, the way it's laid out allows you to fish regardless of the weather.
Go, girl! Yeah! Yeah! Oh! It's a huge fish! It's a huge fish!
It also has that wilderness feel. Most of Eagle is undeveloped crown land, with only a few scattered pockets of development across the whole system. Fishing here really gives you that wilderness feel.
You bet? Like that one?
Now the west arm of Eagle is clear, classic lake trout water. And as you move west and south through Vermilion Bay, the back channel, and into the big water, it becomes more fertile with that green hint and more moderate depth basins. Moving south, the water becomes darker and shallower into Osborne and Nivens Bays. This section of the lake is special because its warmer, shallow, fertile waters produce literally tons of fish that roam Big Eagle. This week, our adventure is taking place on the famed waters of Osborne Bay, and we're staying at the only lodge in this vast portion of the lake, Century Lodge. I'm excited for many reasons. I've seen videos of giant muskies coming out of here since I was a kid, and it's the first time I've seen this part of the lake. And after this trip, I'll be able to say that I've fished Eagle from one end to the other. So my favorite thing in the world to do is hunt muskies up in Shield Country, Northwest Ontario, Sunset Country, and I've spent a ton of time on Eagle Lake. Right now, we are on basically the bottom end of Eagle. Century Lodge is the only place down on Osborne Bay, so it's a really remote location. And what makes Osborne so nice is that the fish are always shallow. They're always castable. And this is a big spot for production for a lot of the fish in this lake. Century Lodge is the classic family-run business, and camp life is in their blood.
So my mom and dad actually came up as guests to Century Lodge 47 years ago, fell in love with it, and then God blessed us to get it when I was 9. And we're going on our 31st anniversary. I've got family now, and they all love it up here, my sister as well. It's a remote wilderness fishing location 2 hours north of International Falls, Minnesota. It's a drive-to location, but you feel like you're in a fly-in because there's nobody else around us. Fishing's quite close. We have excellent walleye, northern smallmouth, and muskie. Really good topwater action.
Here we go.
And it's a nice family-run outfit. So we have excellent food, comfortable cabins, and we got that fly-in experience without the flying costs. So we offer a variety of package plans. You can get guided if you'd like. That's what my mom and dad always did when they came up back in the day. But you can go non-guided as well, and both can be very exceptional experiences. You'll sit down with myself or my dad right upon arrival. We have an awesome map orientation. I'm one of the guides up here, so I'm a great resource to tap into. Regardless of whether you're getting a guide or not, we'll do our very best to help you stay on fish and have a great time. We do offer housekeeping, American plan. You can come for a short stay. Most people stay for 6 or 7 nights, but we'll tailor it to however you see fit. Plus we have rates for kids, and it's a nice place for families. We don't have a rowdy crowd bar scene. We're a really family-run operation, and we love to have you out.
Got him. Oh. Sweet, you just crushed it as soon as it hit the water, boys. Dan, we looked at this spot yesterday and thought, oh, this sure looks good. All right, we got a muskie. A Century Lodge adventure. How about that? We got here late last night. Whoa, whoa, and he popped off. That was fantastic. What a great fish. But we got here yesterday, got a chance to drive around and look at some spots. And it's middle of August right now. We've got some tougher weather. So we found some spots with rocks and weeds, and bingo, there was a muskie. Cool, jumped it off, but that is exciting.
Nice job, Jay.
Nice, Dan. Cool. When you're fishing a body of water like Eagle, like we are today, or really any shield water, the one thing you'll notice is it can be really intimidating. There are so many spots that look really good. So when we head out, a few things that we'll do is, number one, we'll spend a lot of time just driving with the big motor, looking at everything, seeing how the spots lay out. Looks like there might be some weeds in there. A little bit of rock, nothing fancy though. A lot of spots, believe it or not, might look good from a distance, but there might not be a shelf on there. It might not have any good, round rock or broken rock or any weeds. So far, this looks better on the map than it does up close, but you can see here, there's some nice weeds. I don't see any toppers. We just look, we look, and then a spot like this, you can see here now we've got a nice, beautiful rocky shoreline, round rocks, weeds in the middle, comes up a reed point with more rocks over there. Just an absolutely classic spot. Now, if we would have just started fishing every island complex that looks good, it would have taken us a long time to find stuff like this. So by taking time, driving around, we're able to see the best spots and spend our time casting on primo locations. Oh, there he is. Yep, he's on it. Still on it. Oh, he missed it. All right. Jeez, he wasn't totally committed to it. That was super neat though.
He came up like Jaws.
He did. I can't believe I didn't hook him.
He just T-boned it right on top of the water.
I know, and I didn't get it. That muskie just came up, he went like this, put the bait like this, and then I pulled back against him. He just came off. They're magicians, just like crazy. They're insane. They're so hard to catch. Like, even when you get a great opportunity, they just go, I'll eat it, but I'm not gonna get hooked. So when we're looking for muskies right now and it's late summer, we're really looking for some of the most complex spots that we can find on the water. And what I mean by complex, it'll be areas that have rock and weeds. There'll be some contour change, a little bit of depth. And generally I like fishing stuff later in the year, closer to the bigger water. Now this looks like a classic spot to me. You've got a nice shallow bay here. Chances are it's really weedy. Looks like there's some rocks in the saddle here, and then you've got a big island complex. It looks like there may be some rocks on the outside. So what we'll do, since this looks like a good spot on the map, we're gonna just roll through here relatively quick. I'm just gonna drop waypoints where I see things of interest like weed beds or big rocks or whatever, and we'll come back and fish that later, and we'll start building a bunch of spots that we think are our top picks, and hopefully a muskie shows up on one of them. Look at this, huge rocks. Now you wouldn't know it, but this rock extension that goes up to almost hittable sticks out like 100+ yards. So you could come into a lot of these spots and just look at the shoreline and see, I'm gonna fish the reeds. But in fact, there's huge rocks way out here. Now this is a great thing to do midday. During prime times, absolutely be on your best water with your bait sweat, but when it's slow, it feels like the conditions aren't right, drive and look. Just keep looking, because the spot that's gonna hold the next monster is right around the corner. So I find your trips become a lot better, the fishing gets better the more time you put into looking at spots and learning them well versus just fishing everything that looks good. Here we go. Oh. It's right there. Little guy. That was cool though.
Yeah, it was.
Sweet. Ah, look at that. Good spot. Saw one. And just because you see a little one there, like there's rumors that always cracks me up. Like, it's like muskies are territorial. You know, if there's one muskie there, there's not going to be anything else there. Well, that's so not true. Muskies are just like any other fish. If there's a good reason to be there, primarily food like this time of year, there can be lots of fish on a spot, man. I've seen, you know, not excess of like a dozen fish on a good big spot. So just because you see one here, or oh, here comes another one. I got another one behind me, he just went down. Maybe it's the same one, it was the same one. A good spot is a good spot. It can hold a lot of fish. So just because you see a little fish there doesn't necessarily mean that there can't be a big one here too. So when it comes to lure selection for muskies, the #1 all-time producing lure is hands down the inline spinner, the bucktail as most people call it. And that at the end of the trip almost always is going to be your #1 producing bait. However,
There he is. There he is.
bucktails, you know, you don't tend to see a ton of fish on them. Usually when you see them, or a lot of times when you see them, they're pretty active and they're biting. Now, if the fish are super off and you want to see fish, one of the best tools to do that is a jerk bait, so or topwater often. And so one of the styles of baits that we'll use a lot of times to bust fish loose if it's a really tough pattern is something that goes side to side like a walk the dog. The old glide and wrap was one of my all-time favorites for that. A topwater that walks the dog really good, or even inline baits like a super shad, or even a suet can be a really good tool for busting fish loose. That side to side or that pull and pause technique works really good. But at the end of the day, usually when the fish are going and they're active, you've got to have somebody throwing a bucktail, and that's why Dan's in the back busting out the pink Super Boo, and chances are that's going to be the bait that gets the fish. And when you get bit on that bait, you hook and hold it really well. Got one?
Got one.
Nice, good one? Good one.
He was up on top of it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Let's see what you got here. Nice walleye.
Nice
Oh, it's a
walleye.
great walleye. Heck yeah, Dan.
Cool.
Good way to stay busy during the day.
You have a net handy?
It's not even remotely handy, but I have a net. It's underneath all of our equipment. But I'll dig. If you can hold on to that fish for about 5 more minutes, I'll get it.
Okay. I have learned the hard way that walleyes and jigging wraps are a little dangerous to grab by hand.
There we go. Cool, nice fish. Way to
right.
go, Dan. Jigging wraps.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fun. Take a little break from musky fishing, find a nice little rock pile, drop some jigging wraps down. I and a lot of other people am a huge fan of this lure just because it's so versatile. Catches walleyes, panfish, buffalo, right, Jer?
Yeah, right?
You don't need live bait. It's fun to fish, it's engaging, it works. What a nice little change up.
Yeah.
Go from the muskies to walleyes.
Yeah, let's hope we can get on to school of those beauties.
We could maybe have a shore lunch.
Canada. Wait, what do I got here? I got something. I got something big. I got something really big. I thought I just had the bottom, but it's actually something really big. I have a really big fish on. I'd say get the big net. This is probably a muskie. Yep, it's a muskie. How do you like that? We're out chunking for muskies like crazy, and what do you know? We catch them on a jigging wrap. That's nuts. This line that I've got on here, this is Suffix Advanced Mono and 6 pound. This stuff is the most unbelievable line. It's super low stretch. I just love it for jigging wrapping, and I have confidence no matter what kind of critter I'm hooked up with, and I'm gonna get it. Like, it's unbelievable. The other thing is this, like, the drag on this, like, listen to it. Hear how smooth that is? I mean, that is just famous Daiwa drag right there. Unbelievable. Like, see how like a cheap reel, a lot of times it'll go like zip, zip, zip. This is just always constant, just butter. Constant, easy, easy, easy. It is kind of interesting where this fish was. It was on a deep rock pile. With the big cold front like this, we've been having very little luck seeing fish in the shallow shallow stuff. Usually when the conditions get tough, the fish either bury in the cover or they head out a little bit deeper. Arm's getting sore.
Close there, Jer.
It's getting close again. There it is. Nice one. Real nice one. Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Oh yes! How do you like that? The benefits of taking a break from muskie fishing and catching walleyes as you catch big muskies. This is really cool. Who'd have thought? Wow, that's a nice one.
That is a beauty.
All right,
Absolutely.
sweet. This is what I like to do if you do get a fish. I always just secure the net, so like my boat's got these recessed cleats. Pop that in. Let's slide that in there. See that? Net's not going anywhere. We can deal with the fish. All right, look at these. I hooked him just perfect. Look at where that hook is at. Right in the corner of the mouth. You literally could not have hooked a muskie better than that. Here she comes. Check this out. Oh, hey, what a great, great fish. If you haven't spent time fishing in Ontario Sunset Country, get up here and enjoy it. Century Lodge has awesome fishing and the fish are always accessible in this dark water of Osborne Bay.
Phenomenal, Jer. It's awesome.
Get this guy back. Got him. Big one. Got him. Yep, big one. Feels like a big one. I don't know, but there we go. Yes, this is why you stay out to the last minute, right? Hoping that it happens. That thing just creamed it. I haven't seen the fish. It jumped. You can only, this is like literally the last minute of the day. You can only fish till a half hour after sunset. And literally this is the last cast of the night. Here we go. Mr. Musk. Heck yeah, real nice fish. Really nice fish. Yeah! Oh, and it popped off. How do you like that? That thing just creamed it. Wow, wait till you see the size of this fish. Literally, like the last cast of the night, you get till a half hour after sunset. We just said we got the 2-minute warning, and boom. Look at this, wow. Just another beast. Unbelievable. That's the thing about Eagle Lake. It just has the potential to produce giant fish, and with muskie fishing, yeah, you can run into some hard spells, but if you put your time in and you take advantage of those prime feeding windows, sunrise, sunset, weather changes, giants like this show up here. Unreal. Whew, I'm gonna get her back.
You know, I love to read books. I'm a print guy. And that's how I receive things. And I read all kinds of books on fishing, the fishing industry, the Bible, and things related to it, and the things of God. I picked up this book, or rather it was sent to me, Trying to See, an eclectic devotional. And the back word got my attention right away. Can God really be known? Many a follower has looked into spiritual practices hoping for their life-changing impact. And this guy went into a whole bunch of experiences. One chapter got my attention, well, a few of them did, but one of them I want to read to you. It's called, Where Do You Go to Church? Now that being said, many of you that are watching this show don't go to church at all. In fact, a major recent survey of people in the United States, a large number, and I'm sure these stats are about the same for those of you that live in Canada. Today's statistics, about 25% of the people consider themselves non-affiliated with any church or any organization. The term they gave them is nuns. I go to church and I love it. My pastor, when I go in on a Sunday service, the Spirit of God talks to him, to me, so much. He's said things on a regular Sunday that he has led and prayed up to do for the fellowship that I go to. But he has said things that have more impact on my daily life than I've gotten from anybody else anywhere at any time. In particular, there's times that Mary and I needed advice and direction, and his wisdom has had a big impact on my life. And when he shares the truth of the word and goes to some Bible and backs it up with Bible truth, it's easy for me to receive. I'm a churchgoer, and if I miss a Sunday, it has an impact on me. So I just needed to share that with you. The world we live in is changing for a lot of different reasons, but one thing never changes. It's the Word of God, the Bible. It holds true many years ago, and it will hold true today. And as long as this earth is here, the truth and power of the Word is there. In a lot of cases, the best place to hear it is in a church that you're comfortable with, that you hear from God. You know that you're where you're supposed to be. And it's a great feeling when it happens. Had to share that with you. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, you have a good, safe fishing season. See you on the water.